So active engagement in the cultural sphere offers crucial possibilities to contribute to social debates, to challenge assumptions about accepted beliefs, to revisit culturally inherited ideas and concepts, and to reshape meanings. And I think all of these avenues can contribute to finding peaceful solutions. Cultural initiatives can help develop individual and collective capacities that are central traits of democratic citizenship, such as critical thinking, creativity, acceptance of differences, commitment to the universality of human rights, and to equality. And we have never needed to strengthen all of those aspects of our societies so much as we do today. Investments in the field of culture and in the conditions that allow people to fully participate in cultural life are absolutely necessary to create cultural democracies and to foster civic engagement, including engagement for peace. And another message that I often carried to governments was that all of this makes proposed budget cuts in the cultural areas, as we've seen in recent years, deeply worrying indeed. It affects the cultural sectors, but it also affects all of these contributions which the enjoyment of cultural rights can make to our societies overall. Creative approaches in the field of culture contribute in many ways to trying to build and maintain the peaceful societies we need, in which all human rights can find increased realization. And this means that governments have the responsibility to preserve existing cultural spaces and institutions for the exercise of cultural rights, but also to create new ones rather than cutting back on them, and to support voices of tolerance, equality, and diversity in these contexts. Of course, there also can be many negative aspects and usages of cultures in regard to law and human rights. And this was a message I had to be clear about. There are choices that are made here. These are fields which are used in a range of ways. Arts and images can also be used to celebrate histories of human rights violations and impunity for those violations, or to promote problematic narratives about current or past conflicts, or to incite discrimination and violence. And we've even seen certain forms of artistic expression actually being used very consciously by extremists and diverse extremists in this day and age to promote their messages. And in fact, I think this is all the more reason to take the intersections of law, rights, and culture seriously. And thinking of these sort of negative aspects, I regularly recalled in the UN what cultural rights are not. And I saw that as a core part of my mission when I was Special Rapporteur. Cultural rights are not the same thing as cultural relativism. Cultural rights do not justify discrimination or violence. They are firmly embedded in the universal human rights framework. And indeed, the UN Human Rights Council itself, so the highest political body in the field of human rights in the UN system, has regularly repeated that cultural rights are an integral part of human rights, which are universal, indivisible, interrelated, and interdependent. And I think very important to have that holistic vision.